Hello. This is Becky with iHeart Art Studios. Excuse me. I have some artist trading cards that I will be opening. So hello. If you are joining, just so you are aware, I am streaming on TikTok and on YouTube, so you can always watch this later. But I did not get any cards yesterday, so I didn't do a stream yesterday. But today I received 4 envelopes in the mail. So I'm gonna open them and we'll ooh and ah over them. And then, so how I normally do it, if you're just joining, is I'll open each envelope. We'll look at each one closely, as close as we can. And then once I have them all open, then I'll show you them again quickly. And if you are just new or have questions, just let me know. And you can always head over to my YouTube channel and watch previous ones. And I look like this is my letter opener, just so, because I don't want to be ripping the addresses, because that's the address that I return the return cards to. So I'm just gonna start opening some cards here. So how are you? Feel free to chat. Like, you don't have to be super quiet. Honestly, it's been kind of a rough day for me. And so that's why I'm coming now. I needed a chance. Nothing with TikTok or YouTube or anything, just some things going on in my life that are not super easy to deal with. So, all right, this one here. Ooh, it says, thank you for doing this project. Just a little note in there. Oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. Oh, they included a stamp, which you don't have to, but very, very nice. Wow, look at this. Oh my goodness, this is from Madeline Boone from Weldon Springs, Missouri. That is gorgeous. So gorgeous that my neighbor is walking by here. Wow, that is so amazing. Look at that. So beautiful. And there was just one card in there. Wow, Madeline, thank you so much. That is so beautiful. So beautiful. Oh, this is the next one that I'll be opening. This nice little one. This one looks like it comes from Canada. So exciting. So exciting. Where are you guys from? Please let me know. I always feel weird when like no one's chatting. So please let me know. Ooh, another single card in here. Let me just make sure. And look at how nicely they decorated the envelope. Isn't it so cute? It's like an alligator with the address. So fun. So fun. And, oh, this is so beautiful. Look at this card. It is so neat. This is like Mod Podge and string. I don't know. It's like mixed media. It's very beautiful. Georgia, Indiana, awesome. This is from Donna Crabe from Morningville, Alberta. Morinville, Alberta, Canada. And it's mixed media crackle glass, I believe. It's kind of hard to see. So on the back of the card, you can, ooh, watching from Boston, cool. I gotta do the mirror thing here, hang on. Mirror your video, okay. So on the back, you would just put like the date that you created the card, your name, or whatever you feel comfortable with. If you're a minor, please don't put your last name. You can just put, your state or your country, and you can just put your first name. You don't have to put your last name, whatever you feel comfortable with. And then you can put like your location. You don't have to put like what you did. I usually try and guess, but you don't have to. Hi from New York, hello. So this is beautiful. This is from Donna Crabe. I do apologize if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I am terrible at pronouncing names. Morinville, Alberta, Canada. That is so beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you so much. Oh, and she sent it in a sleeve, but you don't have to do that. And I probably shouldn't have taken it out, but sometimes there's a glare and you can't see. So I am located in Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin, just in case, you're wondering. Oh, this is the next one. So exciting. love my letter opener. Someone bought this for me from my Amazon wish list, and it's probably the most used item that I've had in the studio over the past 4 weeks. So when I open these online too, I also try to be very careful not to share addresses. So I keep my envelopes and everything really low just because I don't want to risk sharing something that doesn't want to get shown. One stamp for my return card and one for me to use as needed. Oh, this is from T222 Dukes, who she just bought a couple canvases, the rooster canvas that I posted with the paint pour the other day. So thank you. Oh, very cool. Look at that. So she used a fun, like a fun scissors to cut the edge. I don't know if you can see, it's got like a fun edge on it. And then there's like, I don't know if it's like metallic or whatever, but it must be metallic, like gel pens. It's so pretty. And look on the back side. She also has like one of those wax seals, which I think are pretty cool. So cool. So T Dukes from Sprague, I don't know, Oregon. Here is another. Oh, it says, I love him. Ooh. I love him with all the hearts. I do love the hearts. And even the backside is decorated so nicely. From T Dukes. And she included, again, 2 stamps, which is awesome. And honestly, like the way, like when people have been sending all of these and people send stamps, it is so amazing. I really have rarely used any of the stamps that I bought initially. Oh, I have some sound on here. I don't know what that's from. Make sure my battery's not dying. Anyway, and then I have one left to open, and then I'll show you all of them again. It is kind of slowing down. I was very surprised not to get any yesterday, but this is a second one because it says it right on the front. Here's my second set. And they also used my return address label as the label that they put on the envelope. So, but I'll just show you. Isn't that cute? It says, I heart art. Very, very fun. I love when people are sending like the second round because it's like, oh, I've had a few people now who sent a second round. And a lovely note. So I'm going to read this. Hey, Becky, I didn't do a good job introducing myself. I'm Renee. Oh, wait, I'm pronounced like green without the G. Oh, Reen, not Renee. Reen. Okay. I love art. Owning it, creating it, you name it. I was super excited to see this exchange only 1 month after joining TikTok. I'm a mixed media artist. My kids love helping me with art a lot. Thank you so much for starting up this artist trading cards. It has brought me out of my art block. Oh, I love that. I will, of course, send more, and you only need to send me 2 back. This is so much fun. Oh, thank you. So this is Reen Decker. And she is at Reen Wish. So it's RENEWISH. Oh, and there's a bunch of them in here. So I'm so excited. Oh, and they're so pretty. Look at that. From Reen D. From Bremerton, Washington. Isn't that bright and beautiful? It's so amazing. I love it. Here's another similar but different. And if you are joining, I also post I take a photo, you know, after I'm done showing them to you, then I do take a photo and I post them over on Instagram at Heart Art ATC. So I created an Instagram page just to show all the photos, like a photo album. Oh, it's so pretty. I just love those colors. Here's another. And of course, you can always watch the live streams on YouTube. Don't you just love it? Isn't it beautiful? Oh, okay, so here's some that look a little bit different. Ooh, this is so fun. It's like a little bookshelf with a cactus on it. That is very unique. This is the first time I've seen one like this. The Little Mermaid, The Grapes of Wrath, Harry Potter, and In a Holidays. I think they have some pretty good books on their shelf. So cute. from Reen D. from Bremerton, Washington. Ooh, here's another one with candles. So that, see, there's candles there on the bookshelf. I wouldn't like candles on a bookshelf though. Well, maybe it's not on the bookshelf. Maybe the candles are next to it on the little end table, right? So the books here are White Fang, Little Women, Misery, Green Eggs and Ham, and The Secret Garden. Very nice. So good. Oh man, these are just so fun. Here is another one. I wonder whose bookshelves these are. Like, does she have all of these different bookshelves? I don't know. Okay, so this one here, it's Twilight, Calypso, The Hunger Games, and Lord of the Rings. So awesome. And then there's one more. Be you, the world will adjust. That's right. I love that. And that's from unknown author. So those are all from Reen D. from Bremerton, Washington. All right, so now I'm going to show you all of them again. So if you're just joining me, so this time I don't like to talk about all of them like I do the first time around, but we'll still look at them because these are all amazing. So there's this one that came from Madeline Boone from Weldon Springs, Missouri. That is so gorgeous. That's me when I let my hair down. No, it's not, but it could be. I have that kind of nose, right? Beautiful card. This one here is from Donna Crabe from Morinville, Alberta, Canada. It's so amazing. Mixed media crackle or crack or crackle. I don't know exactly. I know, it's so much talent. Isn't it awesome? And then these ones here come from T. Dukes from Sprague, I don't know, Oregon. Isn't it so pretty and like metallic-y? And then the edges were like cut fancy with like a fancy scissors. And then this one says, I love him. Wouldn't that be kind of funny if like people watch my live? Because I know some people do watch my live, but like if someone sent a card that said, would you marry me? And then when I held it up, that was like that proposal, I could be a part of it. I'm just teasing. Oh, too much pressure on me. And then on the back side, I just want to show off because the backs of these are also really pretty. So she's got the wax stamp, but she even decorated like the back side of that one. So it's just so pretty. And then we've got these ones. Now, these are all really amazing. And I will tell you, like, a lot of different cards come in and they're all very unique and amazing in their different ways because everyone is at a different level. None of us are the same. We cannot compare ourselves to each other. And so I love when even like grown adults who feel like they have no artistic talent or they feel like they can't draw will still submit a card that they've done by cutting out magazine pictures and pasting it on and, doing their best. And that to me, like, that is awesome because, I feel like, I turned 40 and I decided to start a new career. So I don't have an art degree or anything. I just enjoy creating and I can't believe that this is what I get to do right now. So you never know what doors might open. And if you just create a little bit at a time and then you just grow and you will grow into your style, whatever your style is. And you might decide that you don't really enjoy painting and drawing, that you prefer more of that mixed media. And that is awesome. I enjoy mixed media too. It's very messy and I have a hard time putting away the mess. Here's another one. These are all from Reen D. from Bremerton, Washington. She sent in several. What did I do before this? Well, I have a bachelor's degree in human resource management, and I actually worked at an elementary school writing the grants for the before and after school program, and then coordinating with the community partnerships that would come into the school. And so I also I didn't work after school, but I like supervised and made sure that we were meeting the requirements of the grants. So I supervised like our Boys and Girls Club, and we had AmeriCorps, which were like super volunteers, and the YMCA. And so I kind of oversaw all the outside organizations that had a place within the school that I worked at. And then I was there for 7 years, and then the art teacher left, and I had just taught like in-home painting parties, and that happened by complete accident, actually. But here's another one. And so they asked, because they couldn't fill the art teacher position, so they asked if I would teach art. And I'm like, I don't have an art degree. I don't have a teaching license. Like, I don't know classroom management. I'm not in a classroom. I'm in the office, and I'm managing the adults who work with the kids. You know, I wasn't even in classrooms with kids. And, but because I knew a lot of the kids, then I was able to get an emergency teaching license for a year. So I gave up my position so I could teach elementary art for a year. And I thought I was going to go back to school to be an art teacher. Another book one. Here, I'm just going to show you this one here. This last one. Be You, the World Will Adjust. Those are all from from Reen D from Bremerton, Washington. Also amazing. And so then, so I gave up my current position and I taught elementary art, and I re-enrolled back in school because I was like, oh, I'm gonna like be an art teacher. And I basically would have had to have earned a second bachelor's degree because I never took any art classes I took art history, I think was required to graduate, and that was it. And honestly, I probably fell asleep during it. I had no interest. I mean, I always enjoyed art, but I was brought up with like, you have to get like a job, like a real job, And where I live, one of the big employers is Century Insurance. And so my goal, like I went to UWSP, which is the University of Wisconsin in Stevens Point, and it's just down the road from Century Insurance. And so I worked there for a long time. Anyway, so I taught elementary art for a year. And then at the end of the year, they had to post the position because obviously they couldn't just let me continue in it without having a degree with my emergency teaching license. And they were able to fill it. And so then I had given up my previous position. And so I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. And a lot of people when I oversaw the grant, there was a lot of things that I did working with like the United Way. So we had like a toddler class weekly that I ran and things like that. And so a lot of those families really loved coming to my toddler classes. So they asked me like, oh, if you would do more painting, or if you rented a space, you would come to your weekly circle time kind of thing. And so I just started looking at places to lease or rent, and really with only the intent of still getting a full-time job and only having to do like 4 classes a month to pay for the cost of the space. And when I started moving in, then the community really kind of accepted me, and they wanted me to be here all the time. And so I did sub for a little while, but I had a really hard time subbing only because I know that like in building relationships with the kids, when I was teaching art, I had relationships with those kids, and it made the job a lot easier. And subs have a really hard job. Like I had so much stress and anxiety every day when I went in. And I tried subbing in middle school and high school and elementary, and it was almost I would have too much anxiety over it, where I'd be like freaking out, like, oh my gosh, they're going to call me and I can't answer the phone because what am I going to do? And so I did sub for a while, but now I haven't subbed then for a year. And so now I just do this all the time. And I do still weekly toddler classes, which is called Mini Makers. And a lot of those families were still coming, and actually I ran it twice a week, and those classes would sell out every single week. And so since COVID, it's, I shut down for 3 to 4 months, and then I slowly started opening up, but then the moms were like, we need to get out of the house with our kids. And it's kind of like they come every week. I have, a few families that come every week, but we've made it work. But it's a little tricky just because there's a lot of sanitizing that goes on in between, but it's the same families every week. So that does make it a little bit easier. So, but yeah, that's kind of what I do. Oh, so many great questions. How did I start my business? I have not. Wow, you guys are really amazing with your questions. I normally don't have so many questions. So how did I start my business? So my friend invited me to go to a painting party. It was a paint night. And we went. This was way back in early April of 2016. And it was a lot of fun. I hadn't like painted in years besides just little, mix, doodling and things like that. After that night, I was like, I haven't done art in a while. So I pulled out some of my art stuff, and my birthday's the end of April 24th. So if you want to remember that, just teasing. But so then I wanted to, for my birthday, I invited 4 friends over, and I walked them through a little painting party like we had when we went to the fancy paint night thing. And it was just a lot of fun. I mean, we had kids running around everywhere. It took us like 5 hours, and we were just having fun, drinking wine and, doing what moms do, I guess. Anyway, so at the end of the night, we all posed with our pictures. We painted tulips because they were my favorite, and I was leading the class. And that was that. And it was just a fun night. Well, the next day I woke up from, and I had a private message through Facebook from one of my friend's friends, and she had seen my friend Melissa, who was at my party. She'd seen her pictures on Facebook, and she was going to have a get together with her friends, and she wanted to know if I would come and teach a painting party for her friends at her house. And I told her, I'm like, it's not really a business. I'm just doing it for fun. I don't even have easels. I borrowed them from the art teacher. And, but I decided that she's like, well, we'll pay you. So I was like, okay, So I took that leap of faith, and I bought 10 easels on Amazon. Don't ever buy easels on Amazon. I think I paid like $15 or $20 a piece for them, where wait till Michael's has a 60% off sale and get the $20 easels, and they're only like $6. So that is what you should do, okay? Don't buy the $15 ones on Amazon. Because I actually think that the ones that I got at Michael's are still using to this day. And those first 10 probably didn't last very long. But so I just decided, any money that I made, I just put right back into my business. And I was still working full time at the school, but I would do painting parties just in people's houses. And my name at that point was I Heart Canvas. And I only did canvas paintings. And I feel like I just got really lucky because I had a friend who worked at a restaurant, and they wanted to do like a painting in meal thing. And so, I only charged $20 a person when I started. So it was pretty cheap. So people could come for $50 and they could get this super fancy meal because it was at a fancy restaurant where like the meal itself would be like $50. And then I taught a painting class. And so I did that like once a month. And then it just, I probably did, 3 or 4 parties a month, but I was able to start making enough money where we could finally go on vacation. And then when I got this space, and so I really just did that, just in-home painting parties. Once in a while, I would, rent a space to do a public event at like a local bar, but bars are really tricky because once the music gets playing, then it's hard to hear, and, so that can be tricky. So, yeah. And so then after I was, teaching art at the school, then my job was done, and I couldn't, my other job that I had previously was filled with someone else because I was teaching art full time. Then I thought I would just look at renting a space and doing more than just canvas paintings. And here I am. I hope that answers your question. Oh yeah. Your son was going to take a job here. Well, it's a nice place. We have a nice river, and we're a small town. I have more followers on TikTok than there are who live in the town. I think there's like 20,000 people in our town. The only major stores we have is like a Walmart and a Home Depot, Ace Hardware. But we're in Wisconsin, so there's bars, lots of bars. But there's not a whole lot of, though, just entertainment. And I don't have a liquor license. I don't serve food or drink here, but people are able to bring their own and do whatever, just because as long as they're in charge of themselves. So thank you. You just turned 40. Yeah. Well, it really is. Even now, sometimes I think like maybe I should get another job, but I don't know how I'll have time because I don't know. And honestly, because I lease this space, I think the thing that I think about more now is it would be nice to own a space. But if I owned a space, then it would be more that I feel like I should probably sell my house and then purchase a space where I could live and work. But I'm located in the downtown area of our town. And so, there's that. And it's very interesting because a lot of people who've been working from home for the last year, those businesses are now selling their office space. But I think what's going to happen is people are going to get tired of being at home and they're going to need a place to get out. And so I don't know. Well, maybe that's good for me. And I've been learning a lot about online, and I'm still not great at it. But my business has always just been like doing DIY workshops and teaching painting parties, and I do antique windows, and I do my toddler classes, and I do homeschool classes. Tomorrow morning, I have 4-H groups. I have 2 4-H groups coming in. We're going to do rock painting in the morning and then a canvas painting at 11. And then I have a private event coming in to do a porch sign in the afternoon. And, so I stay pretty busy, but it's kind of nice because then it's, I get to come here every day and kind of play with my art supplies and make videos. And then I'm able to just work one day to be able to make up for that, if that makes sense. And I really just make enough money to pay the bills here. I'm not rolling in the dough by any means. But if you do what you love to do, and that's it. I don't feel like if I made a ton of money and I was rich, I wouldn't be any happier, because my happiness actually comes from teaching people about painting. And so I feel like I'm fulfilled with what I do. So I'm not fulfilled by money by any means, but I'm also fulfilled by ice cream. I love ice cream. I left early today because I was kind of having a rough day, and my son hadn't the bus was ahead of me. And so I picked him up from the bus stop and I said, "Do you want to go get some Dairy Queen?" Because I was just it's just a stressful day for me. And so we went to Dairy Queen and had some ice cream. But I could be fulfilled by more ice cream. I would love to go to Dairy Queen again, but sometimes they've commented that I'm their most famous, their most visiting customer. And then I feel like I should take a break. So, but yeah. And honestly, I've never been, I feel too, if someone would have told me 3 years ago that this is what I would be doing, I would have laughed in their face, because I don't feel like I'm qualified to have a space here, And honestly, when I started TikTok, I never expected that I would grow the way that I have. But I think some of my customers have told me that one of the reasons they enjoy coming to me and that they're such repeat customers is because I always treat that I don't talk above them. And part of it is I just don't know the lingo that a lot of artists use. And sometimes I feel very insignificant when when real artists come in, and I don't know, am I teaching it the way that you're supposed to? I don't know if I'm doing it right or not. And so I definitely don't mind if people point that out to me, because I know that I am not the best. And I know every artist does things differently, but it's just fun to play and create, regardless as if you're doing it right or wrong. Because if you're always concerned about doing it right, then you're never going to do anything. And that's kind of me. I love to make mistakes, because then I'm I made a mistake on this canvas. That means that I get to keep it and paint whatever I want to on it. Oh, thank you very much. Well, I will not give you a kick in the pants, because I see that that's your name, but thank you. He's still hoping to get relocated here. Yes. And it's a nice place. The cost of living is really low here. You don't, so what I charge for my classes, a lot of places in larger cities or in other areas can charge, I'm not twice as much, but they can definitely charge more. But our cost of living here is pretty low compared to the rest of the world. And even like what it costs for homes here, it's really hard to find places like homes to rent, where if you go other places, a lot of times you can rent houses. But because the cost of living is so low, I mean, my house that I currently live in, it's a 3-bedroom, 1,400 square feet, a bath and a half. The asking price was $61,000. And it had a brand new roof. It had new siding. I mean, it's a perfectly fine house. And that was like on the high side. So if you go to, well, right now the housing market's really hot, so it'd probably be really hard to find something. But if you went onto like realtor.com and looked at Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin, I mean, there's, I don't know, probably 20 houses out there where they are asking $40,000 to $50,000. It is like, if you get a house that's like $100,000, you're living literally in a fancy house, like a mansion probably. And I don't live in a fancy house. I live in a house that's like 80 years old because I love the old, obviously because I'm in this space too, but I love the I love the craftsmanship of old homes and just how unique they are. So, but okay, I should look in my book to see if I got anything from, okay, so I know I already have Washington. Let me just double check here because I have a Missouri, I got a Canada, an Oregon. So I have to look in my book. And I did have someone ask, like, what do I do if I get a double state? So I will tell you, I don't keep all of the cards that come to me. So what happens at this process is the cards get a photograph. I do document the address and the return name and address. And then the reason is just because I like the data. So that way I can say, oh, I've received, 200 cards. And I have had one that was returned to me. And so then I can go back to see, oh, what did I have down for the address? And then, or if someone messages me and says, hey, I sent you a card, but I didn't get one back. And I'll say, oh, this is the address that I have written down. And some people just write a little sloppy, or I just can't read it. And so I might just have put the number wrong. And that was actually the case with the one. It was like apartment 1D, and I thought it was apartment 10. And so you can see where they just didn't deliver it. They returned it to me. But, okay, so let me look here. Okay, so I think I have every state here. Oh, let me look. Oregon. Do I have Oregon? I feel like sometimes I forget what I have, and then I'm like, oh, it came in, and then it left already. I do have an Oregon, but once I get them, if for some reason, like I already have the state, and part of it is because there's so many I want to keep, but I also I send them back out. So like this person sent me one card. So I will send them back one card. Now they might get a card from me, or they might get this card. So that's kind of how that works. I've actually had some people who have been amazing, and they have sent me cards to help replenish, because if some people send multiple cards, so inside the envelope, so these are the ones that are going out. In here, this person wants 5. They sent me 5 cards. So I would send 5 back. There's a little paper in here. And then what I want to do is I'm going to send them back 5 cards, but those 5 cards will be from 5 different people. So that's kind of how I do that. But then this is the book of all of the cards that I have from other people. And these go out, although I have done a lot of these also. So like, all of these are mine, so I'm still making artist trading cards, but like this is from someone else. Those are from me, but these are all from someone else. And so these are all cards that are going out still to other people. And I try to do a variety. And so if someone sends me, 10 cards, and they're going to get 10 back from different people. And typically I try and throw in one from myself right now because I do have some, but sometimes I don't have time to make them, so I might run out. But yes, so it's not too late. But if you do send them, you have to make sure that I can see your return address. You could even put it on a Post-it note and put it inside the envelope, because this is the address that I send it back to. Now, some people put little notes in there. And I do keep, you know, most of my binder is actually just filled with notes because I didn't show you that part, but people have made me bookmarks and they've, you know, drawn pictures for me, and I save all that stuff because I just think it's so awesome. And on days like today where I'm feeling just a little overwhelmed with life, and not like in a bad way, but just, you know, some things out of my control and that I just don't have control over. And sometimes it's nice to just be able to go back and read these notes that say, you know, I haven't picked up a pencil in 5 years to draw a picture, and your video inspired me. Like, cause that is what I love to hear. Cause I'm a teacher more than I am an artist. And honestly, like, I'm really only an artist because I practice doing things a lot. So, and things just naturally look better if someone else does it. And that's kind of true. Like if I drew a bird for you, you would probably think it looked great. But in my mind, I might think your bird looks better than mine just because it does. So, well, I don't know if it does or not, but so I am just rambling on and on and on. I do apologize if you're on YouTube right now watching because I keep looking this way. So I feel like I'm ignoring you, but I'm not. If you've watched this far and you're on YouTube, and you can always rewatch over on YouTube because I'm streaming, but there's people over here. It says I have one person. Oh, it says I have 2 people watching now. Someone from TikTok just hopped over there, I bet. But I don't have comments or anything happening over there. Not yet. So anyway, oh, where did I get my apron? Well, I bought my apron black on Amazon and I painted this on there. So I painted this. It was actually the very first video I posted on TikTok. And I had no idea what I was doing. And I didn't know that when you posted like because I posted, it was 2 videos. It was the one of me painting it. And then the second video was like the slow shot of it, you know, so that you can see the finished work. But it was the first time I uploaded it and I'd never been on TikTok before. So I had no idea what I was doing. I literally had just downloaded it and then just uploaded the video. And so I didn't know, like, you know, when you upload a video and it like does its own thing, like with music and everything, I had no idea. And so it didn't really show me painting it a whole lot, but I painted it. And I have, you know, I've talked about like I should make aprons and sell them. And I have attempted to do some screen printing where I could do the apron. And I really do love these aprons because I'm so short. So this is actually, this is not your standard art apron. I'm only 4'10" 3/4". And so normal aprons on me go down to my knees and then they make me look like I'm even shorter. So this is like a restaurant apron. So it's short and it's also kind of nice because sometimes the neck kind of bothers me. So then I can just do this and I can just wear it around here. And then on this side, so, you know, if I make a mistake or someone points out that I don't know what I'm doing, then I can just turn my apron around and I can tell them that I'm not a professional. I'm just playing with my art supplies because I've had to do that before too. But I do like to wear my apron and it's very dirty. Well, thank you. I know I shouldn't do that. I do have a rule in the studio that you should never talk bad about yourself or your artistic ability. It's the jar. It's the swear jar. I'll show you. Before every class, I pull out the jar and I say, now, I don't know if you've ever heard of the swear jar because you might be a little bit young for that, but this is what I call the I hate my painting jar. So you're not allowed to talk bad about yourself or your artistic ability while you're here because we're all unique and different. We all have different handwriting. So the way that we create, it's going to be different. I can't even duplicate myself and I'm painting the same thing that my sample is that I painted. It is impossible to copy yourself. And then I always like to point out, I have some signs up on the wall that say, what does it say? Oh, it's not about being perfect. It's about having fun. And then I remind them, especially if they came with someone, that they came out to have a good time with their friend, right? And if they are always complaining about themselves or what their picture looks like, and their friend is constantly having to say like, no, it's fine, I promise, then their friend is not having a very good time. And at the end of the night, if their friend is feeling proud of their painting, then they probably won't speak that or say that because they'll feel like they wouldn't want their friend who's been complaining to say that. Like they wouldn't want them to feel bad. And so I tell them they can use opposite words. You can say, this is so fantastic. I love my picture. I am the best artist in the world. You're not allowed to talk bad about yourself. But then I also talk about good old Bob Ross and how mistakes are not complaining. So if you make a mistake, ask for help because I'm definitely here to help. But yeah, so everything is fixable. Everything is fixable. You made your first signature card a few days ago. Yes, I'm so excited. I was just gonna pull out the address here too if you need it, but I don't know. Oh, here it is. So you can take a screenshot if you want to. This is the address that you send it to. I Heart Art Studios, 340 West Grand Ave, number 101, Wisconsin Rapids. But that's the abbreviation that we use here, 54495. I'll hold it up for like 3 seconds. So take a screenshot if you want. 3, 2, 1. And then, yeah, so if you typically if you send between 1 and 3 cards, then the turnaround time is normally about a day or so. It kind of just depends on how busy I am. So like tomorrow, well, it's late today and I open these late. So tomorrow morning I have events and such. So I'll probably go through the cards and get them all set to go out for Monday. And then, like I said, if you send in 2 cards, you'll get 2 cards back, but they'll be from different people. And I can't guarantee you'll get one from me, but you will get one. And people put notes in there, like that one person, like, here's 10, but I only want 2 back, or however, I try to do what your requests are. I did have someone ask about an international, like, oh, can I have an international card? And it really just depends on if I have one or not. And so that's kind of the thing. But measurements are 2.5 by 3.5 inches. So it's basically the same size as a deck of cards. It's like a card. So if you have a deck of cards in your closet where you're missing, a couple and it's just been sitting in there for 10 years because you just don't want to throw them out, you could decorate them and you could paint one. And then on the back side, you would put your name, the date that you created the card, and then your city and state. However, I do take a photo of the backside of the cards when I post them on Instagram and show them on TikTok. So if you would rather just put your first name, because some people do that, just their first name and their last initial, or just their first name, and you only put the state on there or your country, you don't have to be super specific. And especially if you're a minor, please don't put information on there that would, point you out, just because I don't want to be responsible for any shenanigans happening under my watch. And yeah, and I mean, so like this person, they put, their first and last name, the date, and the city and state. This person put that they did mixed media on the back and they put a little stamp. I mean, you don't have to do that. Let me see here what these ones have. This one here is just so pretty. So they just put Reen D. So she didn't put her last name on there. And then she put April 7th and then Bremerton, Washington. And so sometimes too with kids ones, some of the kids ones that I have. So if you send me, like if your 2-year-old or your 5-year-old participates, they will also get a card back that is probably from a 2 or a 5-year-old, but they might also get something cool also, because I want them to be excited when they open up the card. So I do have a couple cards that I tried to create that would just be like really fun if a little kid got it. Like, like So if I was 5 and I made a card and I sent it in and then I got a card back like this. This is from Jackson, who's age 5 from Washington. You know, like that's pretty cool. But I might not get super excited about it. I mean, it does have like Mickey on there, but what about that? That might be really fun. And then that will hopefully inspire that child to want to do more, because that's really the whole goal, is really just to inspire creativity overall. Like regardless of your ability, it's just to inspire the creativity. So, and I've actually been holding on to this card for a while. Maybe I should put him in my other binder because he's so cute. So, and everyone has different, so I've had digital artists they've created digital art on their computers and then they printed it into the size and then they've submitted it. I've also had artists who take photographs and they took a photograph of a cute dog and cut it down to size and sent it in. And on the back, they put the date, their name, and the city and state. I have had people who use just plain paper, you know, like it doesn't have to be, it's just copy paper. Oops. People who do like mixed media. So this is like mixed media. They actually like poked holes in there. It's pretty cool. Very nice. I have had, let me see here what I've got. I mean, I have lots here. If the size isn't exact, that's totally fine too. I've had some people send like ones that are a little bit bigger, and that's perfectly fine. Now this person, they sent their card, but they also sent some stickers, and there wasn't a note in there that said the stickers are for you or they're to be passed on. So because there was 2 stickers and this, I'm gonna put this with that, and then whoever gets that card, it will be a little bonus. So, and some people have even submitted cards that are bigger. So here's another one like that. But now, so people who send in bigger cards like this, if I get a lot of people, like, because a lot of people collect artist trading cards and then they wouldn't fit into their binder. So if someone sends me a bigger card, then you might get a bigger card back. I mean, no guarantees on that, but normally if people are sending in cards that are like this, you might get one that's a little off size, but normally it won't be too off size. I hope that answers your question. I kind of just went off on a ramble there anyway. Oh, this person here, they even like made a card with some words and they used fabric and they sewed. So that's actually like thread on there. I mean, there's just so many unique ways that you can make stuff. This is really cool too. This is someone, we did some looking up of things, and this is using solar paints where they actually like, and I've never tried this, and I never actually heard of this until I got this card, but where you must like paint the paper first and then you lay something over it, which it says basil canotype on the back. So I'm assuming that they laid like a basil plant on it. And then the light from the sun or the solar rays or however, it dyes the paper different. So, I mean, it's unique, it's cool. It's just different. So there's just lots of different unique ways. So, and honestly, like with my book that I have too, you know, sometimes my states, the ones that I keep, it's really, some of them you know, like this one is really, really pretty. I already have Missouri. And so, you know, this is one where, you know, I don't intend to keep it. I intend to give it back out to someone. So you used to do this as a kid? Yes. With the cardinal? Oh, let me look, because I did just pull, held one up with the cardinal. Did you see it? Is that the one? It was on a piece of paper. Was it that one? It was this one. Yes, I got this one. So, Brittany, you did not put your name on the back of it. And so I did, this is you, right? This one is you? Because I did put your name on the back. I just put Brittany T with the O with OH because you were from Ohio, right? I was trying to read the envelope and honestly, like they stamped it right over, but I think I had to like Google map you to just make sure I can read everything correctly, but okay. So that's okay that I put your name, and I just put Brittany T. Ohio on the back. If you want me to put anything else, just let me know. But I do get a little leery, like if you put your full address on the back, like I would recommend not doing that just because I am the only person who sees your address. So your envelopes come in, and then I'm the one who is readdressing, or I've just been cutting off the return address if I can, and then taping it to the front of my new envelope for you because it saves me some time. Only because a couple of times I've gotten like 20 in the mail in one day, and that it takes a lot of time. And so I just, just make sure that you write your return address clearly so that way I can see it. Oh, good. I'm glad that that's fine. Oh, you'll have to look what up. What are you guys talking about? Oh, that solar paper? Sorry. Yes, it's some sort of solar paint, I think. I had Googled it, and I mean, it was pretty cool. I've never used it. I don't need a new hobby. Seeing that TikTok about buying art supplies and doing art are two completely different hobbies. That's true. It is. I love to buy art supplies. I even went to Michael's today and I stuck to my list, which is crazy. I almost stuck to my list. They did have some metallic Craftsmart paint that I thought would be kind of fun for a paint pour. So I bought some. But yeah, and actually, it would be really fun to do a quick paint pour. Mine was paper, white before placed in the sun. I put plant life on it like a Queen Anne's lace. Ah, that's cool. Well, welcome. You just got here. I was opening up artist trading cards and talking about that. But so earlier today, I wanted to try this new paint pour that I saw a TikToker do. And I tried to look for the video to figure out what he was doing, and I couldn't find the video. But it was a marble paint pour, which looked pretty fun. So maybe we could do that really quick before I go. I don't know. What do you think? Let me just put these back in here because I don't separate the cards from the envelopes until I actually get my new envelopes ready for them. So, I don't want anyone's stuff to get lost. Yes, you do want to see the marble pour. I do. And I guess so normally what I do is I tell YouTube that, see you later, alligator, but I'll keep YouTube up for right now. Okay, so I'm just going to move this stuff over here. I don't want you to see any addresses. And then I'm going to move this back here so we can see what I'm doing. Take my jar. All right, I got a problem with my YouTube though, is that the hang on a second. Do this work. Is that my tripod? Here, I'll introduce you. TikTok. Here's YouTube. YouTube. There's TikTok. You can see each other there. But this. Oh, hello. This tripod doesn't go down any farther, so it's really hard to get visuals. So I have to kind of bend it forward, but I don't want my computer to fall. What? It goes down. I did not. Look at that. It goes down. Oh, I just learned something new. That's amazing. Okay. That way they can have a good view. You can have a good view. Did you put tiny canvases under to catch paint? No. So normally what I'll do if I have a tablecloth like this is I let the tablecloth grab the drips. Because I have a premix of paint already, then I don't really, Hi, YouTube. I'm so sorry. See, this is my problem here is all YouTube can see is my stomach now. It's not very great. But yeah, okay. Let me just grab my stuff really quick and then we'll chat here. Okay, so this is just a 10 by 10 canvas, and then these are my paint poured colors. Let me grab a marble. I've been wanting to try this with my marbles. So I normally, so about catching the paint. So the paint drips I usually let fall onto the tablecloth, and then I peel them up, and then I put them onto my clear sheet protectors. And the reason that I like to use the clear sheet protectors is because it reacts like a window cling with the paint skin. So that way I can peel it off and I can peel it on and I can fill that little plastic thing and then stick it in my sleeve and then it stays put. I try putting them, some people use freezer paper and that's great. Like use whatever works for you. But I like the way that it sticks and kind of clings back to that plastic because then otherwise if I have several pieces of paper or like skins that are small, they all tend to kind of stick together. And once the paint skin touches the paint skin, then those two things want to cling together. So, that's a lot of talking. Let me talk so much. Okay, so, okay, let me see here. I'm just trying to read whatever. YouTube, this is going to be really hard because you're not going to see my face. So you're just going to have to look at the canvas. It's all you get to see. So, thank you. You love that flower right there behind me on the wall? Yeah, when I first moved in here, I painted that. I just love that. I don't know. I feel like I'm always being drawn to these colors. So the teal, the purple, where is that? I love the light green right now. I also really love the silver, except my silver is like, I'm almost out of silver here. So, I could always make some. And let's see. I don't know, there's so many good colors, I really do like all of these colors. They're like all my favorite. Let me grab, let me grab my silver paint in my Floetrol, and maybe I'll just make a little bit of that. So I'm just going to be using the Craftsmart Silver Metallic because that's what I have. Now, my container, it's pretty empty. It's kind of hard to see, but it is. It's pretty empty. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill it up with, not all the way, but probably not. I probably won't make a whole container, but this is the Floetrol, and I'm just going to put in, well, there, half, okay? And honestly, like the recipe, it's pretty flexible, so you don't have to be perfect with whatever you're doing. Now, this is a pretty big jug, so I'm going to put in a lot because I want to try and get it to like 30%, which is probably going to use up most of my, hopefully I won't need that. Now, Craftsmart is a pretty thin brand, so I may not have to add any distilled water. And if you're just beginning and you just want to use regular water, that's perfectly fine. Distilled water, it just kind of helps the life of your canvas live longer, I guess. So, and then you just shake it. And then usually I'll like take the lid off and I'll try and test the fluidity of it, if that makes sense. Lots of shaking. My arm hurts. Okay, I wonder too, like, has anyone done this before with the marble pour? Does it matter which size marble? Should I do small marble because it's a small canvas? Okay. So it looks pretty flowy on the inside. It's kind of hard to show you, but when I am in there, you probably can't see, but it does flow around pretty good. So if I am using a thicker paint, besides like the cheaper Craftsmart brand, then you're gonna want to you probably need to add a little bit of water to it. And the Floetrol is basically a binding. What it's gonna do is, so painters use Floetrol, like if you're a painter, if you paint walls and paint, homes and things like that, they add Floetrol to the paint to give it smooths out brush marks. It makes it, you can take a gallon of paint and add some of this and end up with a gallon and a half of paint, so it extends your paint. So then they're not spending as much money. And so, but the nice thing is it has this self-leveling, which is really nice for paint pouring. But it has no color on its own. It looks like it's milk. It looks like it's the color white, but it's not. So it binds with the paint. And so that's why I don't add the water until after I've mixed it, because then it's bound to the paint. I hope that makes sense. So, okay, here we go. Now, I don't know. I haven't done this before. So, with the marble. So I really have no idea. I'm trying to think what the guy did. What did he do? I can't even Google because I have my computer and my phone right here. I might have to turn a light on because it's starting to get kind of dark in here. Let me turn the light on and you tell me what you think. The only thing is it might create shadows. See the shadows? But it might be okay once my hands are up. Okay. I don't even know how to do this. So I think I'm going to start a little bit of white all over. Okay. I hope the guy who was doing this as his career is not watching, because I will feel very bad. I'm basically just going to cover this with white. I'm going to have to grab some paper towels. Because, I could totally just put some gloves on, but it's way more fun to just move it around with your hands. So I'm just going to stick some on here. We're going to have to see. I don't know. I think he actually had it in a cup, and then maybe he poured it like this way, and then he like rolled it around. I think maybe that's kind of what he did. So thank you. What am I trying to do? Yeah, I'm going to try and roll a marble on it. I have no idea if it's going to work. No idea. But we're going to try it. Oh, and I have YouTube. So I got to make sure, though, that I'm not going to create, because I don't want it to get out of the YouTube. So here, I'm going to move you up so that way you can see a little bit better. And then I'm going to zoom in a little. We'll see how this works. We'll see. Let me know if you can't see anything. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do, I have no idea. I'm not gonna use all these colors. I'm gonna just try and stick to a few. I don't know. Those three, or maybe those ones look good. See, I made that silver now. I don't know, it's so hard. Okay, I can't read your comments because I'm, oh, you haven't seen this done? Okay, we're just gonna try this all together, okay? So I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never done this before. I'm just gonna start by doing a little line in here because this is not like a swipe, so I have no idea. We're just gonna have some fun. Oops, there's some chunks there. Ooh. And I always like to remind people, the Floetrol, it's a binding agent, so it binds to things. So sometimes the paint does bind together and you might get little chunks into your paint, especially in the tiny little tips. So I'm just gonna pour it like this. Hopefully I won't get too big of a chunk coming out. I always love to just like experiment and see what happens. Oops, I got a little chunk that came out. See, you just pull it out. No big deal. Okay. And the red one. I really wish I could read all of your comments right now because you're down so far. Here's another little chunk that came off of something. Yeah, it'll be fine right there. Ooh, then I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put some silver out here because I love that silver. So the silver will kind of be out here. How about that? And then, okay, this will be take one. If we have to do two, we will, but okay, are you ready? We have a marble. Maybe I should cover it up. I think I should probably cover it up. I should have hid it in there. I'm hiding the marble. Okay, I'm hiding it. Oh yeah, that's right. This one is kind of chunky in there. Hiding it. Let's see what happens. If you're just joining me, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying a marble pour for the very first time. Do you see it rolling around? Oh, I must not have enough paint on there. Okay, we'll get it back to this thick stuff. We're just gonna kind of just roll it around and see what happens here. I should really watch some more videos. If I can find the guy, I tried to find him. Probably uses considerable more paint maybe. Because I feel like I'm not really having a whole lot of paint coming around here. I mean, it is kind of cool, but I feel like I'm missing some paint. Like it just needs more. So I'm gonna try and load up a little bit more out here. So it's good and thicker. And then we'll do a little bit more silver. Can you see the marble rolling around here? I mean, it is some cool designs here. I just want to make sure I've got enough paint that's happening. Okay, here we go. We're gonna take two. We're gonna just bring it back to where it was and we're gonna roll it. Woo! Can you even see it rolling around? I don't know. Oh boy, it almost fell off right there. It's kind of like, I feel like I'm like a kid, like, wee. And it's probably hard for you to see what I'm like, see it? Oh, this is gonna be like the new thing, I'm sure. It's pretty fun, actually. Wee. Let's bring it over here. Oh no, it fell into my thing of marbles. What do you think of that? I mean, I feel like it's just not, it didn't move a whole lot. Put masking tape on the edges to make walls. Oh, that would be fun too. Let's see, can I do two? Oh, can I do two marbles? Probably not, but we'll see what happens here. I feel like I can't really go anywhere because it's so hard to move them around without it. I mean, it is kind of fun. Oh, it's like a race. Who's gonna get around? Man, that must just take a lot of like practice. But oh, look, they've like come together. Oh. I mean, it is pretty neat. I don't know like what the overall goal is. It doing what it should be, like making these cool designs? Oh, lost one. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's very like, reminds me of the 60s. You know, it's very like, woo, 60s like. So here, I'm just gonna like kind of cover the edges a bit with this paint. There's a lot here. The canvas will take forever to dry. I'm just not sure, like, I just don't know what the goal is. I guess that's just the thing. But if I could figure out what the goal is, then I could try to accomplish that part. Oh, and it already looks weird from me tilting it. Okay, now I have to read some of your comments because I don't know, maybe you're telling me I should be doing it differently or something. Hold on, I can't get close enough. I'm so blind. Do marbles like a swipe? Ooh, I could do a swipe on it. Art and using several marbles. Oh, so the video that you found, they put marbling tape on the edges. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have that fancy tape. Now I could always do a swipe with this. So that's kind of the fun thing about doing things like this, is let's just do it, right? Let's just do a swipe and then we can marble over the swipe if we want to. So I'm just gonna load up one side. I really like that dark blue. I just do. I gotta grab my swiping things. Like paint pouring, it is truly a very addicting hobby to get into because it's fun, but then it just has to sit out forever. So, I think the marbles lined up. Oh, like line this part up with all the marbles? Is that what you were thinking? I don't know about that. I mean, it might be cool. Is that what you're thinking? Just to put all the marbles right there? Is that what I should do, or should I just do a swipe? I don't know. Okay, let's try it. I mean, I have a lot of marbles, so someone must have lost their marbles for me to get them all. And since I got paint in my little marble thing, I'm gonna have to I honestly have no idea if this would even work, but it might make a cool design. Maybe I'm doing something new. Okay. I'll have to look at your comment in a second. I can't really see. Okay, so I think in order for you to enjoy this more, I'm gonna have to tilt it like this. Oh, it's so painty that my cup is stuck. Okay. This is really hard to move it with all these marbles without it falling over. Okay. Now, I should have done this differently because I want to make sure the marbles go through. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a hint of the light. Oh, I forgot that I didn't have the lid on that one. Well, there we go. I just added way more paint than I need, but oh my gosh, I'm going to have some intense paint skins happening. Well, that's not quite what I expected, but I really just dumped half of my thing out right there. So I'm going to now roll the marbles that way. And let's just see if anything happens. That's kind of a problem because I had so much paint right there, but that is really cool. It's almost like a string pull in regards to that. I mean, that is pretty cool, but I wonder then if cells will form. I think it's too thick. Let me do it again. Let me grab more, and then I'm gonna do it again with some more marbles over here. Because that is pretty cool. I think the marbles are gonna be they're covered in paint right now. Okay. Try this again. I have no idea. People are probably watching me who've never watched me before, and they're like, what is this weird person doing? Yep, that's me. Because it's fun to experiment, and it's way more fun when there's people who are doing it with you. So now what I could do is I can totally swipe this, and it is kind of cool to see how the swipe changes. See, I'm gonna have to get more paper towels now too. I can't believe I got that much. I dumped that much out. It is pretty cool. But now I feel like it's so thick, I'm gonna have to swipe some of that. So I am going to put the lid on this blue one because I don't want to risk having more. And let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna take my blue. I'm gonna do a swipe on this too. We can always re-roll if we need to, but just so you can kind of see how, like, you can really fix just about anything with a swipe. I gotta get some more paper towels because my hands are so dirty. Like, this would probably take like 5 days to dry, but this is pretty cool. So all I'm gonna do, and it won't be a perfect complete swipe, but I think it will still turn out pretty cool. So I'm just setting that part in there, and I'm just gonna drag this nice and slow. If you saw my video yesterday, I went too fast, but I did re-swipe it, and it turned out pretty good. But we'll see what happens here. And I usually let these sit for a few days before I move them. But tomorrow I've got 4-H kids coming in here at like 9 tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna have to move some things around. Okay, getting that stuff off of there. So now I am gonna tilt this a little bit just to get some, see if we can get some cells to come out. And actually, I could probably throw some more marbles on there, and that might be kind of cool then, because then maybe we'll see the colors from underneath start to come out. It is still pretty cool, but I think I like that idea. Okay, I'm gonna throw a marble on. Ooh, it's like, we'll see if any colors come out with the marble, because there's still like reds and purples underneath there. We'll see here. Ooh, you could try and like spell your name or something. Oh, geez, Louise. The canvas is so like wet right now. I hope it doesn't like warp the canvas because there's so much happening. I really liked that. Like, I kind of want to do that again where we like drop them all off the edge, because that was pretty fun. See, this is the kind of fun that I like to have when you just kind of play around with the paint and you don't really have a plan. But the skins that had fall, like the paint that's sitting on the table, because it's mostly that one color because that bin dumped open, it's not even going to be like that amazing. It will still be cool though. All right, so now what I'm going to do to try and make it kind of like a string pull is I'm just going to put a little bit of red right here. And then we're gonna see that red get, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna, okay, so I'm just gonna drive them all down there. Ooh, that. It's kind of cool. What do you think? I don't know what I think. I just don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. It's so different. It's very like, I just don't know how I feel. Try the big marble. Here's the big one. Okay. Do I just like spin it in a circle? I just don't know what I'm supposed. I feel like this piece of art is going to be worth thousands of dollars. Because that's just, you know, like, it's so funny when I was teaching elementary art and people would be like, Miss Winter, so-and-so is scribbling. And I'll be like, they're going to be making $1 million on their art when they're 40 years old. And because you're trying to do it just like me, you're not going to be making $1 million. Because if you think about it, I mean, the people who, it's just, a lot of people have like weird art and it kind of looks like scribbles. Ooh, look at that. What's happening? It's like, whoa. Ah! That's so weird. There's like a ridge of paint. It's like, I don't understand what is happening. It's like the canvas is right there. Like I don't know, but it's kind of cool. Probably won't stay that way. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Oh, see, now I'm covering it up. If you're just joining me, I don't know what I'm doing. Is this like an oddly satisfying video, maybe? I keep trying to be oddly satisfying, but I'm not. There it goes again. That's so crazy. Okay, I'm gonna try and do the letter B. Okay, there's Oh, okay, I gotta do it backwards so you can see it. Okay, there. Okay, and then oh, do you see that? There, I just made the letter B. Isn't that cool? I don't understand why that's happening. I have no idea. It's like, it's just so thick. It's very interesting. Okay, what else do you want me to do here? Because I don't know. We could do like a kiss. We could kiss it to another canvas so that way it could. You're so glad that you found another food artist. Well, I don't really know what I'm doing right now. Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry. I haven't been able to see any of your comments, so I'm just wanting to see here. Oh, art, craft, time, happy time. Okay, I'll have to look that up. I did try the big marble. You do like that? Oh, I want to see your latest one. Oh yeah, I don't really know. Not super thrilled with this, I guess. I don't really know what to do. So, okay, hang on a second. All right, YouTube, I'm gonna let you go. We'll see you guys later. I don't think anyone's watching me, but anyway, just because I feel like I